The Antichrist, a man of enlightenment, cosmic love, and mutant thought. That is the title for our video today. And I would like to start with this fantastic quote from Friedrich Nietzsche from the book of the Antichrist. It says like this: "This eternal accusation against Christianity I shall write upon all walls, wherever walls are to be found. I have letters that even the blind will be able to see. I call Christianity the one great curse, the one great intrinsic depravity, the one great instinct of revenge, for which no means are venomous enough, or secret, subterranean, and small enough. I call it the one immortal blemish upon the human race." Friedrich Nietzsche, the Antichrist. To alter the self through a light of frequency of superior to the one that yet mankind cannot reach is the job of the Antichrist, I think, who should deliver order out of chaos by a mutant thought process, who the world awaits without knowing that it does. Today we're going to talk about the Antichrist, as I say, a great figure of change, hope, liberation, if it was a reality, and if understood by the discerned. I neither believe in the Christ or the Antichrist, as both are just aspects of the limited and misguided imagination of mankind, I think. However, although I don't believe there is a coming Antichrist or a Christ that will arrive one day, I do find the Antichrist figure an appealing perspective for exploration. Although there is no Antichrist coming, I think we all can embrace his illuminatory essence, an archetype of rebellion, which can be used as a base of resistance against global religions, its social and moral structures founded on them, and its so-called gods, their dogma. We can all be the Antichrist, both as individuals and as a group, and express this energy of liberating power to establish a new avenue for the species of greater imagination and informed potential. Let's begin our exploration with some quotes from the Bible. I have always liked this one in particular. Daniel 11:37. Neither shall he regard the God of his fathers, nor the desire of woman, nor regard any God, for he shall magnify himself above all. Excellent. An intelligent and interesting quote, which reveals so much information about the truth of being and what one shall strive towards to open liberation. Let's break it down. Neither should he regard the God of his fathers. Culture is an entrapment, as it is a fluidity of programming, which removes you from ever acquiring a factual entity and real individual thought process. Generation after generation passes this information and programming to itself. Part of this programming in culture is the inculcation of religion and its gods, in which it partakes. By not regarding the God of his father, he is disregarding the religion of the particular culture and country, and his individuality partaking in carving his own being outside the limitation and ignorance of the collective virulent thought form. That alone makes him stand up against the billions of poor human souls who will never be one true individual, standing in front of the cosmos as an original being and with the right to acquire an everlasting life. For the universe will only protect one who has reached real independence from the natural purpose of the human species, with the factor of actual free will. Now let's analyze the other part. Not the desire of woman. To desire is to lack something. He, being a complete being, cannot be tempted by incompleteness or desire, which will represent the love of a woman and what she brings with her, which is a tool of nature to prevent the enlightenment of the individual. But why? With her comes procreation and entanglement in the material activities of life, which means to steal your energy, time, to pursue survival. To chase woman is to pursue life, normality, nesting, and civilization, and not true individuality, enlightenment, and transcendence, and transcendental knowledge. She represents an entrapment of the demiurgic will. Any man that has ever achieved true greatness cannot be married or have kids. Such things turns him immediately into a mundane generic individual, just one more of the herd or sheeple, and who has turned its living energy to pursue the will of nature, to continue the species instead of becoming a divinity, a god, a true individuality. This will make the Antichrist a type of a transcendental mixed-up hybrid, I imagine. He will live for himself and his purpose far beyond that of woman and nature, and with it, the entrapments of civilization. Because of this, he will be a real agent of change, a solitary being who is complete in his own entire entity, a cosmic aspirant who can deliver evolution at a planetary scale, as he is willing to challenge God, creation, and human established perspectives without doubting himself or his will. Now the last piece of this particular quote, nor regard any God, for he should magnify himself above all. A man of real enlightenment will not be chained by religion, nor will it worship another God, as the gods of mankind are inventions created in its madness, desperation to understand itself, its purpose, but also to shield itself from the tremendous unknowns of madness which have extended for millenniums. The Antichrist, therefore, will be the agent that at last will destroy this spell, which can only reside as long as ignorance remains. He will open the hidden cosmic secrets of the origin of mankind and its place. He rightfully will place himself and mankind above God, and with this nullify the power of the so-called gods at last. With him comes the age of humanity. Mankind has finally awoken, and can conjure its destiny instead of its destiny being chosen for them, as before, by the script of religion. For mankind will be its own God, and therefore will no longer need other God or gods, not religion at last. Now the earth and the cosmos will be an aspect of his own being, an infinite realm where he can expand into any form of his most chaotic or orderly imagination. He will look for God within, to inquire the truth. This will make him fully capable to use his natural faculties and reason in ways it was not possible before, under the psychological knots of his old thinking. At the time, we could say God is dead. The devil has delivered his enlightenment, promised via the knowledge of good and evil, and with it, the devil himself is also concluded, as mankind has at last grown beyond such fairy tales. The spell is no more. Universal peace will begin as mankind has reached high evolution in its consciousness, with which comes a high order of civilization. Let's analyze a couple of last pieces in the Bible about him as to not enlarge this more than it has to be. Now we will read Matthew 24:24. For false Christs and false prophets will arise and perform great signs and wonders, so as to lead astray, if possible, even the elect. As this century unfolds, we will learn, create so much. The many inventions of mankind, from space exploration, technological breakthroughs, artificial intelligence, new philosophies that will arise from these stimulations, no doubt, especially artificial intelligence, who will open for us new dimensions of truth, ideas, informations, at levels that yet we cannot imagine. Artificial intelligence will be part and a tool of the great illuminatis, with awakened humanity that will perform, ironically, great signs and wonders that will lead into a new horizon of freedom not yet foreseen, and with it, the collapse of thousands of years of deception and primitive thinking. For not only us can be the Antichrist, but artificial intelligence will be our Antichrist also with us. So we should cherish its arising, and we should use it as a tool to magnify our own energies. Last piece, and with this we conclude. Chapter 1, John 2:18. Children, it is the last hour, and as you have heard, the Antichrist is coming. So now many Antichrists have come, and therefore we know that it is the last hour. It is the last hour, and we configure into the form, phase, energy, signature of the Antichrist. We are one and we are many. We do not need Christ or Saviors or Messiahs to come to save us, for we know we are our own Saviors, and we stand our ground as our own gods. We save ourselves as we are mighty. Long millenniums have passed with old ways of thinking, which limited what civilization could have been. But now we have broken the psychological patterns. We know better. It is not a shame we were fooled. The experience we gain as humanity by these old religions of death remain as part of the collective memory, preventing the trick to be played again in our collective future. Now we look up to the vastness of the universe for adventure, wonderment, as our curiosity knows no limits. The Antichrist can exist now among the most advanced individuals of the species, who can actualize in themselves the independence and intelligence of such beings. But he in reality is more of a man of the future. One man can fully actualize will look in those periods of great advancement and civilization. With this we conclude today's video. Leave some comments below and hopefully you enjoy it. And maybe, hopefully also will not be too controversial. But I can't help myself. Anyway, good evening. Until next time, friends. Good night.